I grew up with home cooking. My parents grew a garden. We had fresh produce, or we had canned and frozen produce from the garden. And it was home cooking all the time. My mom made homemade bread a lot. And what I remember as a kid was being allowed to have a little bit of dough to play with. And maybe we got into the oven, maybe we baked it, and maybe we ate it, or maybe we just messed around with it. But I remember just having the freedom to work alongside her. And she always had time to, show a little some technique or to teach me something, but really just the freedom to make a mess if I wanted to, learn something new. So when I could in my adult life, as much as I could, I would cook at home and try to improve my skills. So 13 years ago, when my husband and I got married and we created a blended family, we had a situation where we had 6 kids at home, and it was our job to help them to navigate this new world that they were living in. I felt like if we had good food available, home cooking, dinner on the table every night, good things to eat after school, it would help the kids to come together in the kitchen, get to know each other, get to know the family, and help our family. There's a lot of things on the menu that I raised my family by cooking. Some of them are my kids' favorites, and some of them are things that they've named and they know how to make. So it's really a culmination of over 50 years of recipes and learning to cook. I could not be here talking about this at all if it weren't for Mike. So Mike was, besides being my greatest cheerleader and supporter the whole way through, very interested in the demand for my business and the way that it was starting to grow when people were asking me to cook for them. When I first saw the building on Mount Rushmore Road, I did not have a vision for how that could look. Mike did. To me, it was just a sad, run-down little building, and Mike could see the potential if we ripped the entire place apart on the inside, how we could build it out into a beautiful space. So Mike was excited because he got to start on doing all the demo in the building, ripping everything out, all the way down to the studs. So we did a complete transformation there with everything built out new. A beautiful commercial kitchen and retail space. And that was our first shop that opened in 2019. And this is where, I wouldn't have thought to ask my husband to demo one building for me, let alone 2. But I did when we bought our second building on Jackson Boulevard in spring of 2021. And Mike started ripping it out and did a complete demo there. We built a new kitchen there as well and opened that shop in 2023. It was really thrilling to earn the Beautification Award from Elevate Rapid City for the beautification we did on 2 buildings. Well, I think those of us that live near the Black Hills know how special they are and kind of want to keep that secret to ourselves. But really, I think the secret is out, that the Black Hills are one of the most beautiful places you could see and live. To live here, to have the Black Hills in my own backyard is very special. So I love this community. It was a wonderful place to raise kids. I also love to travel. One of my things I always say when I travel, I love to travel, but I'm always really excited to go home again because I love living here. So it's really a wonderful community, a really special place. And I think that as we are growing, more people are moving to Rapid City, into the Black Hills. They are looking for the kind of experience that we're creating at Nell's Table. They're looking for the kind of food that we make at Nell's Gourmet, and they're really busy people, so they wanted to go. And so I think that's part of the reason that we continue to have success and growth, is that we have found something that people want who have lived in bigger cities, have traveled to other communities, and then here we are in Rapid City. We're doing it right here. I've taken several cooking classes when I've traveled, and the best ones are always when it's a hands-on experience, where you actually get to, laminate the dough in Paris in a studio where I'm learning to make croissants, or where I'm actually learning to make the sauces, or I'm learning from a woman from Ukraine who's telling her stories about how she learned these recipes as a child. what I've built with Nell's Table is an opportunity to bring that expertise that I have and experience I have with my experience with cooking and bring it together in a beautiful space where people can come in and feel like they belong here. Hands-on cooking classes, which is something you can't get elsewhere in Rapid City, but a hands-on cooking class where you're actually getting to learn a skill, have an experience, come with your friends. It's been really fun. I know a lot of my customers by first name, and a lot of them have become my friends. That's really special. It's also pretty important to me then when they trust me, when they call, when one of their kids is getting married and they need wedding catering, when they need us to cook for their funerals. It's always an honor. And I just feel like the level of trust that you have when you cook for somebody, it's really special. When you're preparing their meals for them day in and day out, all week long, that's a pretty big responsibility. I had that as a parent. I feel that same way with some of my customers when I know that I'm their stop every day. I take it really, really as an honor that they return, and I love to get to know them. I think my mom would be really tickled at what I've built with Nell's. She would be humbled that it was named after her, and she'd be really proud of me because I think my mom, she was a good home cook. She was somebody who was not intimidated by trying something new. She loved beautiful things, and she would have loved to see what I'm doing with being inspired by her. As a kid, I was able to work alongside her in the kitchen, to make messes, to learn things, had complete freedom to do that. And so I think she inspired me in that way, and I think she would be really happy to see what I've done with it, and the fact that we're bringing that to the community where there's other people who like to also have the good food and the nice experience. I think she would just be really happy about it. And earlier this spring, we did something that I thought would have been just the perfect thing that she would have loved, which was hosting a Mother's Day tea party at Nell's Table. And my mother loved beautiful things. She would have loved to have a tea party with pretty teacups and nice food. And so it really was kind of like a moment that we reached when we did the Mother's Day tea party that I thought, well, this is exactly what my mom would have wanted. Nell's, it's really good food. It's beautiful food. It's a really nice place. They're so friendly. And I think our reputation is there for that quality food. And I think the more that people just know we're always going to be making something delicious and beautiful, that's our legacy.